poor single mom fell asleep on a CEO's shoulder in the subway. What happened next shocked everyone. She was exhausted, so exhausted that she didn't even realize when her head fell onto the stranger's shoulder. The dim lights of the subway flickered, the rattle of the old train echoed through the tunnels, and in that tired moment, she didn't care about appearances, judgments, or shame. She only knew her body was giving up. Her world had been crumbling for months, unpaid bills stacking like a mountain, her child's shoes worn out with holes, her nights restless with worry. And now, right there, in the middle of a crowded subway filled with people who looked away, she found herself leaning against a man in an expensive suit, unaware that this single moment of weakness would soon change her life forever. Sparkles, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the power of life's unexpected miracles, then please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Royal Stories, and share it with someone who might need a reminder that hope can appear when you least expect it. Your support keeps stories like these alive. Her name was Clara. She was 28 years old, a single mother of a 6-year-old boy named Noah. Life had not been kind to her. Her husband had walked out the year Noah was born, unable to handle the weight of responsibility, leaving her with nothing but debts and a fragile newborn to care for. Since then, Clara had lived from one struggle to another, working 2 jobs, one as a waitress in a rundown cafe during the day, and another cleaning offices at night. The money was never enough, but she endured for Noah. Her body was always weary, her eyes heavy, but her heart burned fiercely with the determination to give her son a better life. That night, she had been running late. Her shift at the cafe had dragged longer than expected, and by the time she finished scrubbing floors in a cold office building, her body ached with a pain that no medicine could heal. She took the subway home because it was cheaper, though dangerous at such hours. The train smelled of metal and dust, voices echoed from strangers, and the flickering lights gave it an eerie feel. Clara sat down, clutching her worn-out purse to her chest, and the moment the train lurched forward, her body betrayed her exhaustion. Her eyes closed. Her head, heavy like stone, leaned gently to the side, right onto the shoulder of the man sitting next to her. The man was Alexander Grant, though Clara did not know it. To the world, he was a powerful CEO, wealthy, ruthless in the boardroom, a man used to control and respect. That night, he had taken the subway instead of his chauffeured car, trying to remember what it felt like to be ordinary, to escape the suffocating spotlight of his corporate empire. He wore a charcoal gray suit, his tie slightly loosened, his face handsome yet cold. He was not the type of man people leaned against. But when Clara's head rested on his shoulder, something shifted inside him. He could have moved. He could have pushed her away. Yet, for reasons he could not explain, he didn't. Instead, he looked down and noticed the dark circles under her eyes, the cheap uniform she wore, the tired grip she had on her purse even in sleep. She wasn't someone careless or thoughtless, she was someone fighting battles too heavy to carry alone. For the first time in years, Alexander felt something stir in his chest, compassion. The train rattled on. Passengers came and went. Some snickered quietly, others shot curious glances, but no one dared disturb the strange sight, a weary young woman asleep against a man who looked like he didn't belong there. Clara only woke when the train screeched to a halt at the final station. Startled, embarrassed, she shot up, her cheeks flushed with shame as she mumbled an apology and rushed away, never realizing that her moment of weakness had left a mark on the man she leaned on. But fate has a way of weaving stories we never see coming. The next morning, Clara was running late for her shift at the cafe. She stumbled in, tied her apron, and rushed to serve tables. That's when her manager called her to the counter. "Clara, serve table 5. She looked up, and her heart skipped. Sitting there was the same man from the subway. Alexander. His piercing blue eyes met hers with calm recognition, though he said nothing. Clara tried to act normal, tried to serve him like any other customer, but her hands trembled as she set down his coffee. Over the next week, he returned. Again and again. Each time, he chose her section, quietly observing her, noticing how hard she worked, how kindly she treated even the rudest customers, how she carried herself with quiet dignity despite her struggles. He asked her small questions, and slowly, a strange connection formed. Clara didn't know who he truly was, only that he was different, attentive, and curious. One night, when she thought she was alone after her shift, Alexander followed her from a distance, concerned for her safety. He saw her walking Noah home from the babysitter's, holding his tiny hand, whispering encouragement even though she herself looked ready to collapse. He saw the hole in Noah's shoes, the patched jacket, the way Clara tightened her own coat around her son to keep him warm. That night, standing under the dim streetlight, Alexander felt his heart ache in a way it hadn't in years. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, Alexander began to step into Clara's world. He offered small acts of kindness at first, buying Noah a pair of new shoes, paying for their meal when they didn't have enough, sending groceries anonymously. Clara resisted, prideful, unwilling to accept charity, but Alexander's persistence wasn't rooted in pity. It was something else, something deeper. He admired her strength, her selflessness, her fierce love for her son. Clara, however, battled with fear. She had been abandoned once before. She couldn't afford to trust easily, especially not a man who clearly belonged to a different world. Yet, every time she looked into Alexander's eyes, she saw sincerity, not judgment. She saw someone who, despite his wealth, carried his own loneliness. When Clara finally discovered that Alexander was not just a kind stranger but the CEO of one of the largest companies in the city, she was shaken. She felt betrayed, small, like a charity case in a game she couldn't understand. But Alexander wasn't playing games. He revealed his truth with humility, confessing that she had reminded him of what really mattered in life, that money meant nothing without compassion, and success meant nothing without someone to share it with. The path wasn't easy. Clara struggled to accept the possibility of love again. She feared gossip, rejection, and the weight of a world that would never see her as good enough for a man like him. But Alexander proved, time and again, that he wasn't walking away. He stood by her when others mocked her, when life tried to break her down again, and slowly, his constancy healed the wounds left by her past. In the end, it wasn't just a story of a poor single mom and a rich CEO. It was a story of humanity, of a chance encounter that became destiny, of two souls from different worlds meeting in the quiet hum of a subway and discovering that sometimes, the most unexpected moments hold the greatest miracles. Rose, if this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Royal Stories. And don't just watch silently, leave a comment below and tell us what part of this journey moved you the most. Your words might inspire someone else who needs hope today. Love letter special request to comment. Do you believe that fate brings the right people into our lives at the right time? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your heart.